Welcome to Test Room, your go-to hub for professional knowledge sharing. In this video, we will start working with Selenium library in Robot Framework. We will go over how to install the Selenium library step by step and configure it. We will also see how to download needed browser driver and configure it to work with Selenium. At the end of this video, we will try to launch the different browsers using Robot Framework's Selenium library. In this video, we will learn Introduction to Selenium, basically understanding the Selenium role in web automation, installing the robot framework Selenium libraries, setting up and configuring the browser drivers, and finally working with the multiple browsers. Little bit of introduction to Selenium. Selenium is an open source tool designed for automating the web applications. It has been there in the industry for around 20 years now. It enables the developers and testers to write the test in various programming languages. It supports the varieties of the programming languages, including Java, C Sharp, Python, Ruby, allowing testing on different web browsers. It allows the user to perform the testing on the different kind of browsers. It can be Edge, it can be Internet Explorer, it can be Firefox, the Chrome, Safari, etc. It also helps you to automate the test on Windows, Linux, and Mac platforms. Selenium provides the tools and libraries that facilitate the interaction with the web elements. So basically, it provides a set of libraries to work with the web elements such as buttons, forms, links, and enabling the automated navigation and validation of web browsers behavior. Selenium basically uses the browser drivers to communicate with the real browser. You need to understand Selenium directly does not work, it does not directly communicate with the end browsers. Intermediately, it needs browser driver to enable the communication. Little bit on the architectural side of Selenium. I'll not go in deep. I have created a dedicated videos to understand the basics of Selenium, the end-to-end architecture of Selenium, and also about the DOM, how the Selenium basically communicates with the different elements within the web page. Please have a look into that. That will give a solid the foundation to for you to start working with Selenium. As I explained earlier, Selenium provides support to work with multiple languages. So we can write our script using Java, C Sharp, Python, Ruby, PHP, and etc. and etc. So basically, Selenium provides the different kind of client libraries to work with different languages. So in case of a robot framework, we will be using the Python based libraries to work with robot frameworks. Along with the client libraries, so there is also another component called as an WebDriver, which is basically in heart of Selenium. And if you see here, the two blocks, the client libraries and WebDrivers, they constitutes the Selenium. And apart from that, we also have a browser drivers and the real browsers. If you see here, Selenium does not directly communicate with the real browsers. It does not directly control the real browsers. Intermediate, it uses the browser drivers. So we need to have an browser drivers in our machine where we are going to run our automation scripts, so that Selenium can communicate with the real browsers. Okay. Uh, for the in order to work with the Chrome browser, you need to have a Chrome driver. In order to work with the Firefox, you need to have a GeckoDriver. The Edge WebDriver works with the Edge browser, and Safari basically works with Safari drivers. So you need to download these drivers, and you need to configure the path of these drivers so that Selenium can identify these drivers, and then it can work with the real browsers. Now let us go and install the robot framework Selenium library. So let us go to Google and search for pypi package Selenium, and let us click this one. And so you can install the Selenium package using the pip command. The current version of Selenium is 4.26.1. So let us copy this and go to the command prompt and just paste this. It will try to install the Selenium package. And if there are some dependencies with respect to that particular the package, it will also install that. Now the installation is complete. You can go and check pip list and you can see, yeah, it has installed Selenium 4.26.1. Okay, it has installed the Selenium 4.26.1, right? So along with that, it also installed some other libraries which are needed as a prerequisite to install Selenium. If you want to see more information on the Selenium installed Selenium package, you can go here and type pip show Selenium. It basically says the name of the library, which is Selenium. Name of the package is Selenium. The version is 4.26.1 and it is an official Python binding for Selenium WebDriver. The home page is www.selenium.dev. Okay, so all the information it gives, and it also says that what are the libraries or the packages that is needed before installing the Selenium. We need Certify, Trio WebSocket, URL3, URL lib3, WebSocket, and things like that. So as part of this installation, these packages will automatically get installed. Along with Selenium package, you also need to install the robot framework Selenium package to work with Selenium. So we'll go to the official site, package site, and we will copy paste this particular link and we can go to command prompt and try to install it. Installation is completed. Now let us see the pip list. So we have the robot framework Selenium library version 6.3.0 is installed. So now we are basically installed the Selenium library. Along with that, we also installed robot framework Selenium library. These two libraries will help us to work with the Selenium and thereby help us in automating the web applications. The next step is to install the needed browser drivers. So in my case, if you see, I have a Chrome browser, I have Edge browser, I also have a Firefox browser, right? So what I will do is I will try to install I will try to download these three web drivers from Google, and I will try to download them and try to configure them so that our Selenium can use them. Before installing the browser drivers, you need to see the version of the browser currently you are using, and you have to use the compatible browser drivers. So if I go to my settings and if I go to about Chrome, it says that my version is 130.0.6. So I will have to use the same Chrome driver. So this version should be the version of the Chrome driver that I am using should be compatible with my browser. Otherwise, the Selenium will not launch these browsers for the automation. So let me go and download this version. Let me go to Google and search for Chrome driver, and you can go here and then we can go to downloads, and it says that if you're using a Chrome version 115 or newer, so you'll have to go to this link. Our version is 130, so I'll go here, and if I come here, so I have a link for the Chrome driver for a different operating system. In my case, I am using Windows 64, and I can download this particular driver using this particular link, right? So I already downloaded the needed browser, so I'll not go and download it again. So in your case, please go and download. This will come as a zip, so you'll have to unzip it. So you'll have to take the driver.exe. Okay, so take the driver.exe. For the Selenium tutorial, I'll create a folder called as an Selenium, and I will try to paste all my test cases under this folder, and I will create another folder called WebDriver, where I will be keeping all my WebDrivers. I have downloaded the Chrome WebDriver, and I unzipped also, and I am pasting the ChromeDriver.exe under the WebDriver path. Similarly, I will go and download the Firefox driver and Edge driver, but before that I need to see their current version of the browser, and based on that I will download the compatible browser drivers. My Edge browser version is 130, so I'll also try to download the same one. I'll go and type Edge driver here. So this is not the site that I was looking, so I think I have to use download. Let us go and check. And this is a stable version, and this is 130. This is the same browser that we are using. I'll try to download x64. This will again download as a zip. You'll have to unzip and take the exe file. So you can see now I have now Chrome driver and MS Edge driver. I will also try to download the Firefox driver, which is called as a GeckoDriver. Now let us go and check the version of the Firefox browser. For this we need to go to help. Under help you have about Firefox. I think it is 100 and checking for the updates. It is 132.0, and let us go to Google and find the corresponding GeckoDriver. GeckoDriver. Download GeckoDriver. Go to this. So we have for the Windows. I think we have it for Windows as a zip again. Let's try to download this. Yeah, I will save here. Again it is a zip. We have to unzip to get the exe. Now all the three WebDrivers are installed. Now let us go and configure it. Basically we'll have to give this path where these drivers are stored into the environment path variable. So what I will do, I will copy this path and I will go to the environment variable. Under environment variable there is the path variable. I will try to add the location of all these three drivers. I'll also add it here. Now Selenium will recognize this drivers and when we try to open a browser, it will try to launch the different browsers. Next step is to go to the robot framework and try to write some scripts using Selenium library that launches these three browsers. Let us go and check the keyword documentation of robot framework Selenium library. For this, what I am doing, I am going to the robot framework official site, which is robotframework.org, under which there is a resources link which will take you to the list of libraries, which is a collection of built-in and the external libraries that are associated with the robot framework. Currently, we are interested in Selenium library. So let us go and click this link. This will take you into the GitHub repository of Selenium library. And if you scroll down, there is a keyword documentation. And again, you click on this. This will take you into the keyword documentation. This basically shows the list of keywords that are exposed by the Selenium library. Currently, our intention is to open the browser or launch the browser. For that, we will be using the keyword open browser. Okay, we will be using the keyword open browser. Open browser basically takes these many arguments, but for a time being, we are interested in opening a browser, launching a browser and navigating into a particular website. If you want to navigate into a particular website, you can specify them as part of the URL argument. Okay, so if you scroll down here, so there are also some examples. So in this case, we are passing the URL as well as the browser string. If you see this particular table, which basically tells for what is the string that is associated with the particular browser. If you are using a Firefox browser, then you can pass the string as Firefox. Okay, and which will be basically, see this one. Okay, this parameter, second parameter. Okay, the first parameter is the URL and the second parameter is the which browser you want to launch. Okay, that is the second parameter. And so if you want a Firefox, you'll have to pass Firefox. If you want Google Chrome, you can pass Google Chrome, or GC. We will come to headless browser little later. For the Internet Explorer, you can pass as an IE. For Edge, you have to pass as a Edge. And for the Safari, we have to pass it as Safari. Let us go to our PyCharm and try to launch a browser. Let us go and open PyCharm. If you see here, I have organized my test under a Selenium folder, under which I created two folders. One is called as a test case folder, another is a WebDriver folder, under which you can see the exes for three WebDrivers: Chrome, Gecko, that is Firefox, and Edge browser. Now what I will do, under the test case, I will go and create a new file by name launch browser.robot. And in order to use the Selenium keyword, you will have to import the Selenium library. So for that, you have to write library keyword and then you will have to give the name of the library. So I will be using the Selenium library. Okay, so Selenium library is the name of the library that is basically we are importing. Okay, now what I will do, I will create a test case section to write the test cases, under which I will give long browser. The keyword that we need to use is either we can give Selenium library dot open browser, and it takes two parameters. One is the website that you want to open, and for a time being, what we can do, yeah, we can open the official website of Selenium. We'll see, and then what I have to give is this string that I want to pass as a browser name. Okay, which is a string parameter. And for the Chrome, if I want to launch a Chrome browser, for that I will use the string as Chrome. Okay, let us try to execute this and see what happens. If you see, this has opened the browser. Okay, and since the session has closed, it immediately closed the browser, right? I don't know whether you have observed it or not. What I can do is I can give a sleep. I want to stop the execution for around 3 seconds. Okay, sleep will take a milliseconds. You'll have to pass a millisecond. 3000 millisecond equal to 3 seconds. Or I can put a breakpoint here and try to, sorry, and what I will do, I will try to debug this. See, if you see, it has, sorry, it has opened the robotframework.org, and you can also see the message here. Chrome is being controlled by the automated test. So this browser is being opened by this particular test, right? Yeah. So the now the execution is stopped because we have put a breakpoint. Currently the cursor is here. What I will do is I will close this session so that your browser will also be stopped. I'll just stop this run. This is how we can basically launch a browser and navigate to a particular URL. So we can also do this with the different browsers. Okay, let us take the Edge as a keyword. Let us go here. Instead of Chrome, let us use Edge. Let us try to, sorry, let us try, sorry, what is that? Let us try to execute the test. And if you see, it has opened the Edge browser. Okay, this is the Edge browser. Yeah, this has opened the Edge browser, but in a minimized state. You can see that Microsoft Edge being controlled by the automated test. This is done by us actually. Okay, this is how we can open the Edge browser. I'll stop here. I'll stop the script execution, and now I try to open the Firefox browser. For that, I have to use the keyword as Firefox. Test is being executed, and you can see it has launched the Firefox browser, and it has opened the robot framework. The official website, you can see this, there is an icon, right? This says that the browser is under the remote control. Okay, this is how we can launch the three different browsers. Now we know how to launch the browser. Now let us see how to close the browser, close the active browser. For that, there is a keyword called close browser. You can write Selenium. If you know the keyword, directly you can type it. Otherwise, you can go to the documentation and search for it. Now I'll be using the close browser. It does not take any parameter and it closes the current browser. So which is the current browser? This is my current browser. So yeah, the browser that is open via this particular the particular keyword is my currently active browser, and I am going to close that browser. Okay, so I'll put a breakpoint here and I will try to run in a debug mode. If you see, the browser is been launched now, and what I will do, I'll minimize this window, and if I go next, okay, next, this particular this particular item will step over. That means it will step over this particular the keyword. Now let us go and do that. Now you see it has closed the browser. It has closed the currently active browser. This is how we can use close browser to close the currently active browser. Okay. Now let us try to open the two browsers of same nature. two in a Chrome and try to close one of them. Okay, let us see which browser is getting closed. Okay, so according to me, the browser that is created by the second keyword will be closed because this will be the current active browser. Okay, so this will be the current active browser because it is launched. Yeah, it is because it is launched after the this particular browser, right? So this will be the currently active browser, and when I try to close that browser, it will close the immediate browser, okay, which is active. Okay, so let us try to go and run in execute in a debug mode. You see, this is the first browser and this is the second browser. Okay, this is the first browser and this is second browser, and now I'll try to execute this particular keyword and see what happens. I'll go and step over. The second browser got closed. Okay, because it was the active browser at that point in time. Okay, so we can also do this experiment with the different browsers. Okay, let us go and close them, all of the open browsers. And what I will do is I'll stop this. I will go and use this with the edge, and then I will try to close. Let us see which closes. According to us, the edge will be closed because that is the one which is the active browser at that point in time, right? So let us go and execute in a debug mode. Yeah, it launched the Chrome browser, and now it launched the Edge browser. For Edge browser, you can see this symbol here, and the my Chrome browser is here, and my Edge browser is here. Okay, this is the second browser, this is the first browser. This is currently in a active state because I have put it in the foreground. And let us step over. It closed the first browser. This is how the open and closing the browser works. So far what we have seen, we can open the multiple sessions of a given browser or the different browsers and close them one by one using the close browser. So this we have to do one by one. If you have basically opened two browsers, then you will have to use this keyword two times so that it will close both the browsers. Okay. Rather than that, there is a one keyword which is called as close all the browsers. This is going to close all the active browsers. Okay, let us try and execute this in a debug mode. The first browser is launched, and I also have a second browser that is been launched now. Okay, now what I will do, I will try to put a breakpoint here again and try to step over. You see the first browser is gone. See, second browser is also gone. So now the control will come here. Okay, so this is how basically you can close both the browsers. So control is here now. It saw that all the browsers are closed, and that's why the control is here now. This is how basically you can close all the browsers, right? Instead of closing one by one, we can close them together, all of them together. Now let us see how to maximize the browser. For that, what I will do, I will take one browser, and yeah, let us use the keyword same thing. Then let us search what is the keyword to be used here. There is something called maximize the browser window. Okay, maximize the browser window, and it does not take any parameter. So let us put a breakpoint here, and let us remove this sleep statement. Let us put a breakpoint here and try to execute in a try to execute in a debug mode. Now the browser is launched. Sorry, you see the browser is here and my PyCharm is here, and what I will do is now I will step over, and it has maximized now. Okay, you see the browser is maximized now. Now again what I will do is I will go and close all the active browser. You can see it has closed the browser. This is how we can launch the browser, and then we can navigate to the particular website using the URL as a parameter. Then you can maximize the window, you can minimize the window, then you can close the browser. If you go to the documentation of open browser is also returns something, right? It returns a string. Let us go and try, and from our example see what basically this particular keyword returns. So let us store it in a scalar variable as a ret equals to, and let us try to log this value. Let us try to execute this particular test. It has launched the browser, it has closed the browser, and if you see, it has also returned. We are logging the return value. The value that is stored in this variable is a 1. Basically what happens when you launch the browser, this particular keyword returns the index of the browser. If you are launching the multiple browsers, then the index will get increment. The index will always start from 1. So this is how basically this keyword keeps the count of the number of browsers that it has been launched. Okay, let us try to run this keyword again, but instead of this particular website, we will try to launch another website. Here I will give as another website, and okay, let it be in Chrome, and the index should be 2. It will always start with 1 and the index will go on incrementing. Let's try to execute this. The browser 1 is launched. Now the browser 2 is also launched and it got maximized, and if you see, the index was 1 for the first browser and index is 2 for second browser. This is how open browser will keep track of the number of browsers it got launched, right? So now what we'll do, so when you open a multiple browsers, like the last open browser will be the active one. Okay, in case if you want to go back to your old browsers, for example, you here if you see, you opened the robotframework.org and selenium.dev. Okay, by the order of execution, when it keywords get executed, this will become the active browser because it is the last open browser. Okay, and sometimes what happens, you have to go back and do some work in the first browser, then you'll be wondering how to do that. There is a keyword called switch browser, so using which basically you can switch the browser. Okay, you can switch the browser, and the switch browser basically takes an index as a parameter. Okay, let us um, give it as for this index 1, and let us log this, and here I will do index 2, and I will log the index 2, and then I will try to maximize the browser. maximize the browser. Before maximizing, I don't want to maximize the selenium.dev, instead of which I want to maximize this particular browser, robotframework.org, the browser that opened this particular website, right? Okay, so for that we have to use the keyword called Selenium Library dot sorry dot switch the browser, and it takes either the index or alias, so we will do it with the index. Okay, now what I will do, I'll try to put a breakpoint here and try to execute as an debug in the debug mode. The first browser is done. Now the second browser is also executed. Now what I will do, I will bring this to here. Okay, and then what I will do, I will try to step over. See, if you see here, the robotframework.org, the browser that opened this particular website got maximized. Okay, because it basically did a switch to that particular the particular browser, and then it maximized. Okay, now I will close all the browser. I'll try to resume the program. It closes all the browser. This is how basically you can launch the multiple browser, and you can switch from one browser to another browser using the indexes or using the aliases. Alias, I did not explain what is alias. Maybe we can see it in the future, but currently using the indexes you can toggle, you can switch between the currently active browser. Hope you understood this concept. That brings to the end of this video. In this video, we explored some basic concepts of Selenium, which touched upon the architecture of Selenium. We learned how to install the Python Selenium package. Along with that, we also installed Robot Framework Selenium package, and we used Selenium libraries from the robot framework, and we also learned how to launch the browser instances, navigating to the particular URL using the different browsers, Chrome, Firefox, and Edge. We also saw how to close the browser one by one, and how to close all the browsers, and how to switch between the multiple instances of the browser. Hope you enjoyed learning with me. In case if you like this video, please support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you for watching.